growing concerns over China's economy. Data over the weekend showing industrial profits in China fell more than 13% in November, faster than the prior month's date. The government also announcing plans to boost spending to support consumer demand. You had Tencent, Timu's parent company, Pinduoduo, PDD, Gaidami,
yes,
and a few others also winning in the red. And of course, I have to note that China's planning these sort of naval war games around Taiwan, which I don't blame people for being, at least today, a little bit nervous about China.
Well, that should be an existential risk, not only for China, but for the global markets as well. I mean, if you go back, it was Jensen Huang, I think, a year and a half or 2 years ago, said the one thing that kept him up, or I'm paraphrasing, is the China-Taiwan situation, which each and every day seems to sort of escalate a little bit. That's been a concern for a while, but if you've only been concerned about that, you've missed a huge move in the markets. With all that said, I mean, all these China stocks seemingly topped out in the fall. You started to get some rhetoric around China. You had, I think, people talking about Alibaba here in the United States as basically being some subversive group, and obviously that didn't help. And now it's manifesting itself in some of these news. I think Alibaba is cheap. I thought that $10 ago. I'll say it now. And I think when people wake up to all this, they'll realize just valuation alone, some of these Chinese stocks are very attractive.
Fair enough, Dan. My only beef with anything in China is that we just, day to day, it's hard to know what's going to happen with the economy, because we could have some kind of Taiwan issue. We could have leadership change. You just don't, it's not transparent.
Yeah, I mean, we know the economy's weak over there, and they've been telling us, the data's been telling us that for years. I mean, pre-COVID in a way. And so they have this deflationary problem. We have an inflationary problem. I think that we wanted to slap a bunch of reciprocal tariffs on them because of fentanyl. And I think the Chinese are acting like they won the trade war. They got rid of the reciprocal trade, tariffs. They know that we need to sell them soybeans. We need their magnets. We need their rare earths. So we have this little détente. We also would like them to buy our chips. At least that's what's going on with the GPUs and the NVIDIA. And they basically put on some import bans for all intents and purposes. So where we are with the China-U.S. thing, it's not so clear. I mean, where we are with China-Taiwan, I don't think that anyone thinks the likelihood of that happening anytime soon is particularly good. But I bring up the point about who won over this last year. If the Chinese are doing exercises in and around Taiwan a few months before Xi and Trump are supposed to meet, I think that's showing a little bit about how they, or how confident they feel about this little situation that we're in as it relates to trade, but also from a military standpoint.
Yeah, flexing a little bit. And I don't want to pile on China, Steve Grasso. We could throw up we're looking at the EWH, which is a Hong Kong iShares ETF. You can look at the FXI. They're up 26 and 28% this year. You made more money if you own big China technology stocks this year than if you owned the S&P 500.
It's not if, it's when they're going to have change of leadership in Taiwan. The 2027 is the 100-year anniversary of the People's Liberation Army. People have stuck out on that. And I think Guy and I have used that surprise of the next year. I've picked it. He's picked it as a surprise. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen. That's the risk that you have with buying these names now. But I do believe there's some value in them.
I mean, you're starting to get close to this 50% retracement from high to low on the year. So, you may...
On what? What are you looking at?
Sorry, on BABA.
On BABA?
So clearly, from a technical standpoint, for a strategic entry standpoint, that starts to look interesting. I think the situation really, though, is that it's somewhat of the perfect storm. We've all talked about the geopolitical risk. You've seen some of this theme come out of the AI trade, and there was a lot of positive sentiment around cloud, AI features around Alibaba. And so I think that confluence of events has kind of made it a bit tough as of late. I think once you kind of get through that transitory period, you'll look back and start to pick your spots in terms of where you want to reenter the stock. But the truth of the matter is the fiscal stimulus narrative has been there for quite some time. And until you start to see some follow through from the investor side, I think it's kind of a show me rather than tell me type of situation. And so until I think that kind of follows through, that's when you're going to probably get your trigger to get back into BABA.